What's going on, everyone? Welcome on into the Cleveland Browns Report by Chat Sports. On today's episode, I want to talk about some of the quarterback options for Cleveland in 2025 because we can just all agree, sitting at 3-9, there is no postseason for Cleveland. And once Week 18 is over, this season from hell is finally over. And I feel like Deshaun Watson is far from being a guarantee to start Week 1. Yeah, shocking take. So I would not be surprised or rule out Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski at least doing their homework on a couple of veteran options for 2025 because the Browns, I think, are going to find themselves in the spot of they're not going to have an early enough draft pick to take Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, and they're not going to like any other quarterback with a first-round pick. So if you're not going to find a rookie quarterback early in the draft to be your Week 1 starter, well, you're left with two options, right? Veterans or Deshaun Watson. And the way Andrew Berry spoke about Deshaun Watson when he spoke to the media last, it sounded like he wanted to go the veteran route. So here are three, I think, semi-realistic options. We're still a very long ways away from free agency, but let's get into it. Starting with Jameis Winston. This one is the most likely of the three. Browns would just have to re-sign him. He might play himself into a little bit of a bidding war, but I think he would prefer just to take the contract from Cleveland and not spend a week or two in free agency working the phones with a bunch of teams and maybe garnishing an extra million or two. Jameis threw 5 starts this year, 1,700 yards, 11 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. We all agree Jameis is entertaining. He's fun to watch. He's actually made watching a 3-8, 3-9 team manageable. Whereas look at Giants fans, Raiders fans, Jags fans. They want to blow their brains out on Sunday. Sunday became their least favorite day. With Jameis, it's at least tolerable, is it not? But here's my kind of take on the whole thing. It's entertaining with Jameis because this team is 3-9. If this team was 6-6, would 3 interceptions and 2 pick sixes be entertaining? No, we'd all be furious. We'd all want a different quarterback, right? But because this team is a losing team, people are willing to just go, it's Jameis. It's fun. Yeah, it's fun for now. Is it going to be fun next year? That's where I feel like the honeymoon might wear off a little bit. If Jameis continues to be Jameis with the boatload of touchdowns but boatload of interceptions, it works for a fan base that has nothing to watch for because this team is going nowhere. But if this team, and I believe when this team, bounces back and puts themselves back in the mix for the playoffs, I'm not quite sure Jameis is going to hit as well as it does right now. But having said all that, the timing is perfect for Jameis Winston. If Jameis Winston was the backup quarterback last year for Cleveland, I don't think he'd be on the team right now, right? Same way Joe Flacco's not on the team. I think the Browns would then want to go back to Deshaun Watson and give Watson a try again after his shoulder injury. However, there is just no way Andrew Berry can go 2 straight off seasons of letting the most popular quarterback on this roster leave in free agency. He got away with it once, and it kind of got by because he brought in an equally popular quarterback, Jameis. There is no one more popular right now in terms of backup QBs than Jameis Winston and Joe Flacco. So, great timing for Jameis because he knows that Andrew Berry simply cannot let another quarterback leave after outplaying Deshaun Watson and after watching the offense be better with the backup than with the starter. So Jameis has all the leverage here. You know that scene in Draft Day, the most ridiculous movie, but I still love it, where there are fans protesting outside the Seahawks front office with the picket fence, you know what I mean? Like that would ever happen. That might happen if they let Jameis go. And Jameis knows that. So it's great timing for him, even if the interceptions keep on raining down and the pick sixes follow. As long as he is throwing touchdowns and keeping games fun and entertaining, Andrew Berry is going to have a tough time telling this fan base why he let him walk in free agency. So do you want to see Jameis start Week 1, 2025? Let's just say Watson's healthy, right? Just like the way Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers both came back from their Achilles injuries for Week 1 the next season. If Deshaun Watson is fully healthy, ready for all of training camp, do you want Jameis to be the starter Week 1? Give me a yes or give me a no. Speaking of Rodgers, he's the next quarterback option I want to talk about. Seen a lot of people toss out the idea of What about bringing in Aaron Rodgers as a bridge quarterback? If you feel like he could be a step up from Jameis, which I don't know how you think that right now, or for any other reason because he does have, a Hall of Fame resume. I think adding Aaron Rodgers would be suicide for Andrew Berry. Let's just take a tiny stroll down memory lane. And we're not going all the way far back. Let's just go back to October 8th when Robert Saleh got fired. Or how about a month later when GM Joe Douglas got fired? Two guys that took a huge gamble on Aaron Rodgers, fired. And look at Rodgers the last 3 years. This year, sucks. Last year, played 4 snaps. 2022, major regression from his MVP 2021 season. 3x the amount of interceptions. Touchdowns go way down. Yards go way down. Completion percentage way down. A complete regression across the board in his last year with the Packers in 2022. So I'm looking at a bad 2022 season, an injury just completely ruined 2023 season, a awful 2024 season, 3 bad incomplete years with a fired head coach and a fired GM, and Andrew Berry, who knows that he's not the most popular man in Cleveland right now with his selection of Deshaun Watson, is going to go out and put his eggs in that basket? No way. I don't see Andrew Berry doing that. Maybe another GM who has better footing and more belief in Rodgers, or maybe has some connection to Rodgers, will do that. But yeah, I don't think Berry is going to go up to 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers, who's playing worse than his current backup in Cleveland, Jameis is, and go, "You're the solution to my problems." No, that's a one-way ticket to unemployment for Andrew Berry. Before we get on to the rest of today's episode, I do want to give a big special shout out to our friends over at Game Time. If you want to go catch a Browns game when the Chiefs come to town or the Dolphins come to town or any other sporting event in your area, Game Time picks are an awesome tool to check out because they're going to filter out the fluff for you to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. A really cool feature on Game Time is they have this all-in pricing option. When you toggle it, it tells you the total cost up front right from the start. That way you don't spend all that time looking for tickets, getting to the checkout and going, "Holy cow, it is way more than what I thought." No, right from the start, you know what the out-the-door price is. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHAT Sports for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. Moving on to our third quarterback option for next year. Let's go with Kirk Cousins from the Atlanta Falcons. A few weeks ago, we briefly discussed Kirk, and I shot down the idea as I thought there was 0% chance Atlanta would trade him after 1 year. I know Michael Penix on the bench, but still a big contract given out to Cousins. Now, there is a little bit more momentum behind this idea. For one, Cousins is averaging a triple-double, and not in a good way. 17 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 12 fumbles. Leads the NFL in interceptions and fumbles. So when you look at Cousins over the last month, 0 touchdowns. It's the first time in his NFL career he's gone not only just 2 straight games without throwing a touchdown pass, but 3 straight games without throwing a touchdown pass, and 6 interceptions as well. He looks like a completely different quarterback than the guy we saw from weeks 2 to 9. He just completely turned into a pumpkin after having a Cinderella moment. But here's where it gets a little complicated. For one, Cousins is on a 4-year, $180 million contract with $100 million guaranteed. So does Atlanta want to give up on him after 1 year? It'd be a 1-year, $100 million contract. Unlikely, I would think. 2, Cousins has a no-trade clause. So if he does not want to get traded to a team, there is nothing the Falcons or the Browns can do about it. Cousins has a final veto power. And if Cousins doesn't want to come play for Cleveland because he did say he wants the Falcons to be his last team, although maybe he doesn't have that option anymore if they decide to go with Michael Penix, that could get in the way with it. 2, getting up there in the age column, is bringing on a 37-year-old quarterback who's not playing well right now, giving up draft picks, by the way, for that quarterback. I mean, not only are you taking on the last 3 years of his contract, which maybe he agrees to alter, but maybe not. He's got a no trade clause. He kind of has all the power here. But taking on that contract, and you're also giving up some valuable draft capital. I'm just going to come on and say it right now. I am placing a ban on all trades by the Browns for starting quarterbacks. It did not work the last time. Andrew Berry is a trade addict. He's very good at it for wide receivers, but I am going to put him on quarterback trade probation. He's also on probation for drafting defensive tackles and also wide receivers outside of Cedric Tillman in round 3. So he's got some work to do on those departments, but no, I don't think the solution to Cleveland's problems this year is giving up draft capital, taking on Kirk Cousins' contract, and hoping a 37-year-old can just turn everything around in one offseason and get the Browns to the top of the mountain before Cousins becomes 40-plus years old and washed and useless. So of the 3 quarterbacks we talked about today, which one do you want to see start in 2025? Jameis, Rodgers, or Cousins? I'd go with Jameis. One, I think overall the entire 2024 season, Cousins is probably playing a little bit better than Jameis, but as of late, it's definitely Jameis. Aaron sucks. He's washed. And I'm not interested in giving up draft picks for Cousins or salary cap space for Rodgers because neither one's going to be cheap. I'd rather just bring it back with Winston. Before we get on out of here, I just want to give an extra big shout out to the Brown and Orange Club for always supporting us during our watch parties and throughout the entire season. So thank you guys so much for always coming through. When we're having a great time on Sunday, I can count on the Brown and Orange Club to be there with us. So if you want to get added to the club, come hang out with us during our next watch party. That will do it for us on today's episode. Check us out over on IG if you're on Instagram, Browns Report IG, and I'll see everyone later.